Hey everybody, Kaoiji here. So there's 4 weapons that came out with the Stia region at the time of recording this video, and I'm basically going to give you guys my thought process on which weapons I'm going to use, mainly because there used to be a spreadsheet. I don't know if it's still a thing that had all of the weapons and their potentials kind of calculated to show which one would have the higher damage variance. I don't have that on me at the moment, so I'm using the NA Visiphone Wiki to be able to tell you guys and go over my thought process when it comes to some of these weapons. So let's just jump into it. The Prim Sword Libra is the one you guys were able to get from the Stia prep tickets. This one is a 601 base attack, which means base value. It's a little bit weaker than most of these 7-star weapons that we wind up obtaining, but that's actually not a problem because it does have an ice element on it. It also comes with plus 24% potency, recovers 4% HP every 10 seconds, and starts 10 seconds after being equipped. Now, the reason why I don't necessarily find this weapon of any value is because it's weaker, it's reliant on the enemies being fire element, and then also I don't find the potential that very useful because against enemies that are big hitters like a Gigantics or even Urgent Quest bosses, then that 4% HP every 10 seconds is not going to stop you from dying. You could press the rest assign button and be okay. This is only useful, in my opinion, when you wind up losing the rest assign. And as far as I'm aware, all of the same weapons have that same potential. It doesn't look like it's changed like anything like the Rugged series or anything of that nature. You have the EpicGames series, which you're going to be seeing a lot of now because they are the rare drop from the Stia region. You're going to be seeing those. Those have a flat attack of a 611 attack, but they have a potential that I find more useful than the Prim Libra. They come at a fire element, which is why, again, they're weaker than others because that's the way that they balance things. If you're fighting enemies that are ice element with a fire weapon, they would actually come out stronger than some of the weapons that we have here. But it does come with the potential that I find incredibly useful, which is potency plus 15%, critical hit rate plus 15% for 30 seconds when you successfully dodge or negate an attack with a weapon action or sidestep. I find that incredibly useful for every scenario, way, shape, or form. Is there a dark mode? Every way, shape, or form. And honestly, if you guys had to choose between the Prim Libra sword and the EpicGames swords, if you don't have a Stia prep ticket, then you can rule this one out entirely. But if you have the EpicGames, then these would actually be usable. However, with the way that Infernium is relatively easy to gain, I gained 23, not even grinding it out on my first day, 26, not even grinding it out on my first day, which means that in 4 days, I should be able to obtain my weapon, but we'll see. And that's just for the one that has fixed attack 3. There are different values for the Infernium weapons, which brings us to the Infernium weapon itself, which has a base attack value of 685, right? And it also has the potential of plus 19% potency, damage resistance plus 5, damage resistance plus 5% additionally, and then another plus 6% potency towards dulls. So flat out the gate with no requirements whatsoever, plus 19% potency at level 4, plus 5% damage resistance, plus the flat attack that we have in the weapon. This weapon is easily a go-to for the most part. This is something that with that easy fix at a level 3 attack, I would see being usable over a majority of the weapons. It's not a kind of gimme like the Kaoiji was before, because personally, as much as I really like this, there were other weapons like the Stia, like the Rugged, that would eventually come up better. There's no, you're taking 5% less damage, you know, in theory, right? And you're still able to deal a massive amount of attack. So these are the weapons that I'm going for, right? I'm just going to stick with the Infernium weapons until we have something going, going forward. But you have the Gunblaze series, which all of these weapons look sick. They're all literal weapons. The assault rifle is a legitimate assault rifle. The Gunblade sword is dope as hell. Like if I could show you guys like the big image on these, they would be super awesome to see. But anyway, I think they just look the best out of all of them. But as far as weapons are concerned, they have a 691 attack value and then the flawless unit potential, which is really strong, as a plus 23% potency increase. And then the other effect on it is plus 20% PP negative 20% PP consumption, but critical hit rate plus 10%, and the effect is lost when damage is taken with a cooldown of 10 seconds. I can see this being very useful on people who are looking to min-max, who can dodge really well, who can block really well, and this would be the kind of, in my head, the end-all be-all. I'm probably going to want to be using this weapon on my Waker because I feel like I could take advantage of the PP consumption and the critical hit rate. But for some people who may not feel comfortable with using that because they wind up losing the PP consumption and the critical hit rate when they get hit, you're probably only thinking of the actual potency increase on this and then the flat attack value, which again probably would make it better, or one of the better weapons, or the better weapon to use in the Stia region as of right now. But I still think that the safer weapon and the middle of the road, easier to obtain weapon that everybody's going to be going for is going to be the Infernium weapons, which gives us this. And that's just my thought process here, right? Out of all four of the weapons that came out with the Stia region, it really just comes down to play style. If you guys did get Efflugen weapons, or you guys have your Prim Swords, those weapons are still useful. I would feel like all of these weapons are side grades to each other based on the scenario that you're in and the what's the word that I'm looking for? The scenario that you're in and the instance that you're fighting enemies in, right? Because if you're able to dodge a lot of hits, then awesome. This weapon, the Gunblaze series, perfect. If you're not able to dodge a lot of hits and you're going to be taking guaranteed damage for whatever reason, or you feel like you can't dodge a lot, then the Infernium weapons are going to be good for you as well. And then they would probably based on the potential, they would, from without doing any math, they would out damage the Gunblaze only towards dulls based on, again, the potential itself. These would probably out damage these two weapons, but again, they would require some sort of enemy counter element. So these are just the things that I have in my thought process. I wanted to share that with you guys because I feel like some people may be taking certain facts as like, I see this is the strongest weapon. But with the Stia region specifically, it really comes down to what you have available to you, what your play style is, because each of these weapons are in and of themselves very useful and strong. But if you're looking for the end all be all, just based on thought process alone, if you guys can have 100% uptime on the Gunblaze weapon sword potential, I would probably rule this higher than the instant death unit, except in moments where you're fighting dolls, in which the instant death units from the Infernium weapons would come out on top. I kind of just repeated that 4 times, but I hope each of those times it became easier to understand. But anyway, thank you guys again for watching. Stay awesome, stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. I'm out.